What's up, everybody? It's your favorite coach's favorite coach. And in today's video, due to popular demand, we're going to be covering James Wiseman. The freshman sensation who just announced today that he's leaving the University of Memphis is a projected top 3 pick in next year's draft. However, due to his NCAA suspension, his profile as a prospect is shrouded with mystery. Wiseman is 7'1", 247 pounds with a great frame. Physically, he has similar dimensions to Joel Embiid and could develop a very similar physique to Damian Jones. But after dominating the high school level, winning a state championship at Memphis East, and being named the Gatorade National Player of the Year as a senior, it's still very difficult to tell how good Wiseman is based on his film. In high school, he looked like Wilt Chamberlain. He was so physically superior to his competition that he made scoring around the basket look incredibly easy. What makes Wiseman stand out from the pack is how well he moves at 7'1". Wiseman has a decent handle and looks like he can develop into a stretch big man, but at this point, he's still incredibly raw. Watching him in college this year has not answered any questions for me either. In his first game against South Carolina State, he looked all-world. However, the Bulldogs are not major Division I level competition, and they simply just didn't have anybody who could physically compete with Wiseman. His game against Oregon, where he dropped 14 points, was a much bigger test and revealed a lot more about this prospect. But we only have a sample size of 3 games. For as strong as he's built, it appears as if he's still growing into his body and needs to develop strength-wise. So for those of you guys who are comparing him to Shaquille O'Neal, clearly did not watch him at LSU. He's the type of player who would seem more likely that he would injure somebody, rather than Wiseman, who looks much more delicate out there. The majority of his points came from just being around the basket with putback dunks, and he looked decent off the pick and roll. Nothing spectacular, but his ability to know where he is in space off of the pick was at par at best. So bottom line is, Wiseman is being drafted for potential. He has the shoulders and the length to put on some serious muscle. He's a great athlete, and he's extremely skilled for a big man. Is he the next Anthony Davis? No. Anthony Davis was a 6'2" point guard his freshman year of high school, went on an insane growth spurt, and became an incredibly versatile big man. It's not fair to compare Wiseman to Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Davis, or Wilt Chamberlain based solely on his potential. So what's James Wiseman's best case NBA comparison? It's too early to tell right now, given his individual development. So backed by not so popular demand, we'll put him in the cladogram and see if we can answer that question. James Wiseman is in the center class, order Wilt Chamberlain, as opposed to a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Hakeem Olajuwon. The Chamberlain order splits off into 2 families, the Shaquille O'Neal and Dirk Nowitzki type families. Note, I'm not calling Dirk Nowitzki a center. We're talking about the evolution of basketball, and Dirk is the quintessential, prototypical shooting 7-footer. Anyways, it's at this stage in his evolution where Wiseman is going to have to carve his niche in either one of these 2 big man families. Is he going to be a true power center, or is he going to be a stretch center? The reason this is so important is because there definitely exists a 3rd family in between the other 2. I like to call this the Perry Jones family. Guys like Mo Bamba or Bol Bol, who possess characteristics and adaptations of both families, however they do not have a true niche at the highest level. It's the same phenomenon as a tweener. Yes, we are in a positionless era, but that's just because the concept of a guard, center, and forward is antiquated. There are still positions in regards to niches and roles that need to be filled for any given basketball team. And one last little point, when we're talking about evolving, I mean strictly within the basketball ecosystem. I'm not saying Bol Bol is a more advanced version of Wilt Chamberlain. For example, we all know that birds evolved from dinosaurs. And I'm not saying that a turkey is a more dominant killer than a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or if you put a turkey in its prime during the Cretaceous period, that it would be like murking sauropods left and right more efficiently than a T-Rex. You guys get the point. I'm simply saying he's the type of player that evolves similar adaptations out of that same ancestral prototype. Point being, depending on what style of player Wiseman decides to be, will determine his future projections. Is he going to be the Shaquille O'Neal family, genus Joel Embiid, or will he be the Dirk Nowitzki family, genus Anthony Davis? He has unlimited physical gifts that can help him fulfill any one of these potential roles. However, he needs to identify what he does well quickly so that he can have a niche at the next level and potentially be that AD type player. If not, his worst case scenario is a Bol Bol and a Damian Jones body. Not saying Bol Bol is a bust, he just needs to develop into what we know he can be, a center with guard characteristics. Right now, he's just a 7'3" guard. This is a significant nuance to understand because if Wiseman pursues the wrong role, he could easily waste that potential. Bottom line, he's gonna have to commit to being a stretch center. That way, once he develops a little more consistency, he'll be able to stretch the floor, run pick and rolls, and still use his height to dominate inside. Something a lot of stretch bigs don't really take advantage of. A lot of people have been complaining that he depends too much on his height to score, Well guys, he's a pretty big dude, and he'll be a big dude at any level he plays on, including the NBA. Whereas this is an issue for 6'9" forwards, it's not going to be an issue for a 7'1" 19-year-old. So in this small ball NBA climate, he'd be a walking mismatch. He definitely needs to get stronger, he's still growing into his body, he needs to be more consistent as a shooter, and he can't be bobbling the ball every time he receives it off of a pick and roll. But the jury's still out on him. Is he overhyped? At this point, yeah. But I'm still rooting for him to be a big-time pro. Of course, a lot of this depends on what team he ends up getting drafted by. A lot of people are thinking he's going to end up with the Golden State Warriors because they should have a high draft pick, and this would be a good fit for him because the Warriors are great at developing young talent. But if he hypothetically ended up on a team like the Boston Celtics, this wouldn't be a good fit because Brad Stevens notoriously likes to run small lineups. They have Taco Fall in the G League right now, and he could be helping their team today. But anyways, that's a topic for another video. If you guys are interested in content like this, check out our Patreon and support us. As of right now, we have 2 hours of bonus content there. We're offering our program, The 14 Mindsets of an Elite Basketball Player, up there, and that kind of breaks down the fundamentals of a lot of the stuff we talk about on this channel. So it's definitely worth it, like $2 a month. You'll be able to download that program. The whole point of this channel is to open a discussion and develop a community of like-minded basketball people. So if you guys are interested, the link will be in the description box. But as always guys, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.